All right, into the Danny, January 18th, 2026. Got to get used to saying that. And we are on the new DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I hope that the picture and the sound is looking better. Today we're going to do a walk and talk, and we're going to talk a little bit about my experience on living in Celebration, Florida. A lot of people know it as Disney Town, which the camera's going to take a little bit of sort of getting used to. So like just kind of looking at this little thing, and it's a lot sleeker looking. It's very small, so you really can't notice it when you're out vlogging. This thing was specifically made for people who vlog. So I'm interested in using it. I hope it looks better when I upload it. I'm almost certain that it will. What else? So how I'm gonna go about this video is basically, I'm gonna give you 3 things I love about my move from Miami to, or the greater South Florida area, Miami, to Orlando, Celebration. Again, in Miami, I'm from the Hialeah, Miami Lakes area. So I'm gonna give you 3 things. I think a better way to format is 3 things I love about moving and why I moved. And I'm gonna give you 3 things that it's taking some used to for me, getting used to, and I really kind of don't like it. Us in the street here. So the first thing that surprised me is how beautiful Celebration is. Celebration, for those who don't know, was built in 1994 by the Walt Disney Company. By 96, I believe, there were 500 homes available to buy, where people entered a raffle for a chance to buy the home. I think around 5,000 people entered the raffle, something like that. And they were off. This is a beautiful area. There's no doubt about it. It looks like you're in a movie scene the entire time. The homes are beautiful. The homes are very well taken care of. You barely see, you'd see no garbage on the floor. What else? Yeah, and it's like, how I explain it to people is, it's like the movie, have you ever seen a Jim Carrey movie called The Truman Show? That's what it feels like to live in Celebration. The second thing I like about, or I've enjoyed about moving from South Florida to Central Florida, basically is the affordability of Central Florida is so much greater. I cannot express to you the ocean of difference when it comes to that. A house in the roughest parts of Miami cost about the same as some of the homes some of the lower tier homes in Celebration. So what's an example that I can give? Take a house in Carroll City, take a house in let's say Opelika. Let's say take a house in there's even parts of Hialeah where I'm from that are not so pretty, for sure. Those homes right now, if you put them for sale and you were to, let's say, theoretically get all that money, you could come buy a home in Celebration. So again, I'm gonna be 40. Melissa and I obviously are trying to buy a home someday. Affordability is a huge reason why we left South Florida. The third and final reason why I love living here in Celebration, and again, I'm not a realtor, I'm not a mortgage broker, I don't even care, because I'm going to give you 3 reasons why some of the things I don't like about Celebration. So the third and final one, obviously, is the proximity to the theme parks. We love the theme parks. It's become a part of our life. It's like the ultimate amenity. We get to vlog it. We get to, you know how great it feels. Tuesday night, and Melissa and the kids have done this. I've done this. Tuesday night, you're bored. Melissa will pick up the kids from school. take them over to Epcot and they'll ride Guardians of the Galaxy and Soaring. I want to start a YouTube channel. You make the theme parks a part of your YouTube channel. Like I said, the theme parks are not all of my channel, but they are a part of it. So again, it's just a big amenity, and really, I love that. You know what I mean? So those are the three reasons. We got proximity to the parks, we got affordability, and we have, lastly, it's just a beautiful place to live, right? So those are my three things that I'm happy about moving from South Florida to Celebration. Here's a nice shot of Main Street in Celebration, Florida. And yes, it is modeled after the Main Street in Magic Kingdom. Pretty cool. The first thing as we get here to downtown that kind of bothers me about living here is the amount of parents that think it's wise to let your kids jump on an e-bike that goes 25, 30, in some cases 40 to 45 miles per hour, and just hop on those things and just ride them all over Celebration. I really hope that the town of Celebration, along with Osceola County, I want to pronounce it right, decide to ban and make e-bikes illegal within Celebration. At very minimum, I hope that they make them at least acquire some sort of license, adhere to some sort of examination. At very minimum, I would ban them for at least under 21 years old. Well, I would say, let's say 18 years old. I would ban them for anybody that is 18 or younger. I see kids in Celebration that are in middle school, riding these e-bikes 30, 45 miles per hour on the streets. All right, here's another look at Celebration. Pretty cool. Not too busy for a Sunday on a holiday weekend. Starbucks there to the right. There's the Celebration Town Tavern. It's actually busy right now for the Patriots game. Two guys were arguing because one called him boss. I think they were about to fight, but whatever. Yeah, so those two guys were arguing because one guy called him, and this is over at the Celebration Town Tavern. It's a Boston themed tavern. Very good. I love the food there. A Boston themed tavern where these two guys, and there are a bunch of Patriots fans there, obviously. Yeah, you know, Orlando's Patriot country. So these two guys were arguing because one guy said something, called him like, "Hey, boss," or whatever. And the guy was telling him that calling him boss was disrespectful. And then the guy that called him boss got upset with him and just basically told him to, you know what I mean. So, a little action here on a Sunday. I'm a Dolphins fan because I'm from Miami and we've sucked for 25 years, so there's nothing to get upset about. Second thing that's taking some getting used to here in Celebration. There's a certain sect of people that live here that I don't think they quite understand where they live. And without getting into too much detail, I don't know what percentage of Celebration residents, I don't know, but I know there is a sect of people, because you see them online, that, let's just say, for a lack of a better term, they don't want outsiders here. This lake has a name, I don't know the name, but outsiders. What do I mean by outsiders? Well, I've walked by a group of these people, you know, and they'll be sitting at one of the stores or one of the restaurants here back in Main Street, and I can overhear them saying, you know, well, we pay, this is what I heard once, well, we pay the bond here, we pay the taxes, so, you know, they shouldn't be coming here. And, you know, I'm almost certain that he was referring to Disney guests. So obviously my natural response to that is, well, if you don't want to be in a town that attracts Disney guests, right? Maybe you shouldn't live in a town that was built by Disney for Disney enthusiasts next to Disney World, right? Because maybe this gentleman doesn't know that Disney World, if you take the four parks combined, Epcot, Magic, Hollywood, and Animal, is literally the #1 tourist destination. Now, do I think that his statements maybe had a racial component to it? I don't think so. I mean, look, if you're someone, and again, this channel, I'm always going to speak my mind. I'm always going to say what I want. At the end of the day, I'm not going to say never. Maybe one day I will talk about something political. But for the most part, 90%, 95%, 99% of my content is not going to be political. It's travel. It's lifestyle. Do I think there was a racial component to it? Maybe. At the end of the day, if you're somebody that thinks that the country has to look a certain way or be a certain way, then you're just a moron. It's that simple. You don't know this country's history. You don't know anything about it, actually. And yeah, just to wrap up that segment, I can see Melissa right now pulling out her yellow pad to give me notes. But yeah, the second component is there's definitely a sect of people that, and the good part is that Celebration really is comprised of a lot of great people. 95%, 97, 98% of the people that I've come across have been friendly, helping, nice. So ultimately, it's sad, but there is a little sect of people that it feels like they don't want outsiders here. But unfortunately, for them at least, they live next to Disney World, and that's just the way it's going to be. And the last point to this is that while Disney guests sometimes coming over here, it can be a little bit annoying because it just gets so busy, especially during the holidays. It's great for business. It's great for every business, every small business that's on Main Street, that's not on Main Street. It's great for Scoops, the ice cream place. It's great for the barbershop that's next to them. It's great for the taco place that's next to Scoops. So overall, I think, being here next to Disney is great for the businesses, is great for us. But there is a little sect of people that you can tell they have a little puss face once in a while. You know what I mean? The third thing and final thing that's again taking a little bit of getting used to for me in Celebration is how quiet it is. Not a bad thing, but again, you guys have to remember that I am from the Hialeah, Miami area, Hialeah, Miami Lakes area. You're talking about 3-4 generations already of Cuban Latino families. So what, I'm used to more noise, cars, people playing music in their house. The strangest thing is being here like during New Year's and Christmas Eve on certain years, and it's literally silence. And that's something that it's taking time to get used to. I'm more used to it now, being 2.5 years here. What else? Yeah, and again, I like the silence. Silence is good, but it's just a little bit, weird for me. And then finally, obviously, not being next to my parents, not being next to, the family and friends that you grew up next to is not easy. The good thing is that I'm only, a 3-hour drive away, an hour flight away. It's not, I didn't move to Alaska, but that's taking some getting used to. And it's something that, for now, that's what it's going to be. Again, let's just go over them. The 3 things that I've not liked so far that I'm just getting used to more of is the e-bike situation. I hope they ban them. Number 2 would be the little sect of people that you can tell they don't want outsiders, but who cares about them. Number 3 would be the silence, sort of how quiet it is. A little bit, getting used to it, going from a big city like Miami down to more like a medium city like Orlando. Again, I'm not the type of person that can just be. How can I say this? There's channels that I watch, and I'm not going to name names. Maybe one day I will name names. But there's channels that I watch that they feel very unauthentic. They feel not real. That's something that I did love about Adam. Very real, very authentic. Just a little tangent here. Another thing about living in Celebration. People, listen, I love my dog. I love my dog. It's a great dog. He loves me, that's for sure. Right? I love my dogs. But there's people here that they could be going to take a licensing examination. They can be going to jury duty, and they will bring their dog. It's pretty astonishing. I already had one conflict with a lady that her dog, she would bring this dog to Starbucks, and she would try, like, the dog would attack everybody. So one day it attacked me, and I said, okay, I get your dog away from me. It was a pretty big dog. It was more than a medium-sized dog. It attacked me. I said, okay, whatever. A couple times after, I saw it attack a couple people in the Starbucks. The best part was the lady wouldn't even say sorry. So then one day it attacked me again, and then, I let the lady know what I was feeling. When I think about sort of what I want this channel to become, I think about people. I called it Into the Danny for a reason, because, again, I want people to experience what I feel and what I think, and then I want you to come back in the comments, or whether you join me on a vlog, or whether, however it may be, kind of you give me your feedback on what you saw and what I said and what other people say and what you see and whatnot. I don't want this to be a one-sided affair. But I just can't vlog and be somebody that I'm not. You know what I mean? So, and if you join me on that journey, awesome. It's going to be a great ride. If you don't, then I'm sorry. I hope you come back. Came back to the captain's lair, captain's log, to finish up the video. I was out there. It's getting darker and it's getting colder, so I figured best to come back. Hold on a second. Let me get my daughter has this thing here. Okay. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. Let me give you an example, right? So let's say I go to a restaurant, because I want my, the little viewers that I have, I want you guys to understand how I go about things. So let's say I go to a restaurant and the meal's not very good, right? Restaurant's real busy, or maybe, they just missed the mark. The food, really just didn't really get what they were going for in the particular dish that I order. I'll leave the restaurant 99% of the time. And I'll say, look, it wasn't very good. Here's my score. This is why it wasn't good. And that's it. If a restaurant blatantly tries to rip me off, and I think we've all had that experience and know when that's happening, I'm going to say it. And that's just, that's just the way this channel is going to be. And that's how it's going to be for my channel and for the rest of, for the foreseeable future. Back, to what I was originally intending this video to be, which is a comparison and sort of my experiences on the good and the bad of moving from South Florida to Central Florida, which, if those that don't know, it's about a 3.5 hour drive away. And again, just like with this video, there's good and then there's bad. With travel, daily vlogging, experiencing things, there is good and bad. You go to a resort in Disney, there's good and bad. So, and I'm going to be vocal about those things. And again, with the whole political thing, I'm never going to get into politics in this channel. If one day, months or years from now, I want to voice my politics, I will voice it. I am somebody that I don't I don't ever want to make this channel about this. And just for the record, I'm almost certain if you go back to Adam's videos, he's got stuff where he mentions politics or something political or something along that nature. Same thing with Anthony Bourdain. Same thing with, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we all have our opinions. But for the most part, 99% of the videos on this channel, there will be no politics. What else? And that's pretty much it. That's going to do it for today. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. It's a holiday weekend. Comment down below. If you had to leave where you're from, where you live, where would you move to and why? Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you tomorrow.